Allied forces are drawing closer to their target. We'll go live to Qatar for a preview of what's supposed to be a tough weekend on the battlefield.
Have you ever tried an MRE? It's what the troops are eating overseas. Team 15's Joel Allen conducts a taste test.
And one of the worst tornado outbreaks in U.S. history. We'll have those stories starting right now. Good evening, everyone. President Bush told veterans groups today that Saddam Hussein's regime controls only a small portion of Iraq.
Let's go now live to ABC's Jeff Morrell, who is in Doha, Qatar, with the latest.
Within the past hour or so, major explosions have been heard in Baghdad as well as Kuwait City. This as there appears to be a slight pause in the ground campaign as coalition forces rush resupplies to the front lines. For this Marine unit north of Nasiriyah, it's hurry up and wait. These camouflage tents are a sure sign they're dug in and staying put for a while. Another unit south of Al-Qut is taking advantage of this lull in fighting to repair vehicles. The rapid advance toward Baghdad has stalled. In just 2 days, U.S. troops raced to within 60 miles of the Iraqi capital, but have not moved significantly closer in the 6 days since.
I'm a little bummed. I know everybody else is a little bummed. We're pretty bored out here.
The United States was planning on just walking through here like it was going to be easy and all, but it's not that easy to conquer a country, is it?
General William Wallace, the Army's senior ground commander, told reporters in Iraq the war could last longer than originally thought. He says bad weather and a 250-mile resupply line are causing delays. He also blamed unexpectedly fierce resistance, saying the enemy we're fighting is different than the one we wargamed against. War planners knew of paramilitary forces like the Wpde, Wallace says, but did not anticipate some of their unconventional tactics, including fake surrenders.
No one can ever predict exactly how battle will unfold. We can't even completely predict how our own actions will unfold. But I think we remain confident that we have a good grip on what's going on here, and we're proceeding.
In northern Iraq, 10,000 Iraqi Kurds, with the assistance of U.S. Special Forces, attacked members of Ansar al-Islam, a terrorist group with ties to al-Qaeda. Using an unmanned drone, Special Ops commanders were able to view the battlefield and help direct airstrikes. Meanwhile, in southern Iraq, the first ship full of humanitarian aid, 200 metric tons worth, arrived in Qasr. Perhaps nowhere is it needed more than neighboring Basra. Some who fled that city today were fired on by fighters loyal to Saddam Hussein. The Pentagon counters criticism of its war plan with facts and figures. Just 8 days into Operation Iraqi Freedom, coalition forces control 40% of Iraq and have air supremacy over the entire country except Baghdad. Jeff Morrell, ABC News, Doha.
Jeff, thank you. Our soldiers in Iraq have to endure a lot of hardship, including dining conditions that don't exactly merit 4 stars. Team 15's Joel Allen went out on a mission today to find out how our modern military food stacks up on the taste meter. Do we have that story? We do not have that story. Let's move on to the next story, folks, and we'll get that to you a little bit later. A woman's body was found inside her home. Florence County Sheriff's Department calling the death suspicious tonight. Shannon Burleson's body was found by her daughter this morning in the bedroom of her home in Pamplico. Police want to talk to Burleson's live-in boyfriend, Kevin Watson. They say he may be driving Burleson's car, a white 1996 4-door Chevy Cavalier with South Carolina plate number 643 BLK. Watson is white, 41 years old, about 6 feet 2 inches tall, and 190 pounds. Florence County Sheriff's Office tells us Watson's wanted in Michigan on a parole violation.
A tip to the Horry County Police Department led officers to the recovery of $20,000 worth of stolen goods. The items on the trailer are just some of the stolen goods detectives took from a house in the Fremont community last night. Police are now trying to figure out who all the items belong to. Detectives say they also recovered a stolen vehicle, more than an ounce of crack cocaine, and some marijuana. 2 men were arrested and charged as a result of that bust. We'll have more on this story for you coming up tonight at 11.
Okay, let's get back to the story we're telling you about military food. Team 15's Joel Allen takes a closer look now.
Military food has never been terrific, but there's a general consensus that today's MREs, meals ready to eat, are a big improvement over the old rations. We picked up a couple of MREs at an Army surplus store and took them to the Commons at Coastal Carolina University for a taste test. One meal was Thai chicken, the other pasta Alfredo. Both were made by the Sopaco company in Marion County. So, how do they taste?
Oh, well, I mean, it's not, it's not gourmet, but under the circumstances, that's good food.
Is it better than what you thought it would be?
Yeah, a lot better.
You think you could live on it?
Oh yeah, sure.
Definitely can survive off of it.
Have you had worse?
Yes. The food in it.
This is the pasta with Alfredo sauce, and I guess my assessment would be the same as everybody else's. It's not gourmet, but it could be a lot worse, and if you've had microwave, you probably have had worse. Today's MREs come with their own self-heating pouch, which worked for us, sort of. Let's just say it's a good thing the meals can also be eaten cold. And if you're looking for a diet dinner, well, forget it.
There's, I believe, about 3,000 calories, if I remember correctly. You can survive on one for 3 days if you had to, but basically you get 1 or 2 meals per day when you're in the field.
MREs are available in a wide variety of entrees and all come with tasty extras like diced fruit or peanut butter. The pound cake is said to be a favorite with the troops. So the bottom line for our unscientific taste test, MREs are okay. But then we asked college students, and as we all know, they'll eat anything. In Conway, Joel Allen, WPDE, News Channel 15.
And the Sopaco company recently received a defense contract to produce more than 1 million MREs for our troops and for humanitarian purposes in Iraq.
Let's get a first check of our forecast now. Ed Piotrowski out live.
That's right, out in the rain. This is one of Keith's final requests, was to have me out in the rain doing the weather. Well, he's got his wish, that's for sure. Let's take a look at Doppler 15, show you what's happening around the area. And there are some light showers rolling ashore right now, moving through parts of the Grand Strand and back toward Conway, and a few in Florence County as well. Just a few overnight tonight and not many tomorrow. Here are the temperatures around the Carolinas at this hour. Specifically in South Carolina, low 70s in Florence and Lumberton. Been a nice warm afternoon there. Right along the immediate coast, we're in the mid to upper 60s now with that wind off the ocean. And here's your first forecast for tonight. Overall, mostly cloudy skies with a slight chance for a few showers, perhaps even an isolated thunderstorm. Our temperatures mainly in the low to mid 60s by 11 o'clock. Keith and Allison, looks like a half and half weekend. Very warm tomorrow, but much cooler for Sunday. We'll talk about the rain chances as well coming up a little later on.
All right, Ed, thank you, sir. 11 tornadoes hit South Carolina 19 years ago today.
Coming up, Team 15's Tanya Brown introduced us to a man who will never forget that day.